Hello, Internet. Welcome to Hot Tips. My name is Charlie, and this is Factorio. You guys have been requesting this game a lot. Like, amongst all the games that have been requested on the channel, this one is pretty high up on the list. And I wanted to bring it. I wanted to bring it out here and give you guys a taste of what Factorio is all about because a lot of people were interested in it. However, this is one of those games where it's really difficult to learn. It takes a lot of time commitment to get good at it, and I don't want to just like babble about and stumble and fall on my face for video and stuff and not really show you guys what it's all about. So this series is going to be a little bit different. The series is going to be sort of an experiment for us, if you will. And I say us because I have two people here. I've got Jasmine as well as G-Man, a.k.a. God Emperor G-Man. And these guys are going to be sort of collaborating in this. And if you guys like the idea of Factorio on the channel, give it a thumbs up. But Jasmine, G-Man, say hi.
Hi.
Bye.
Okay, so we are now in the game. This is the map we have generated. I can zoom out just with the scroll wheel here on the mouse if you're not familiar with Factorio. Now, our artillery here is, that's Jasmine, and you'll be seeing a lot of her. And then G-Man is down here, and these guys are going to start gathering resources because they know what they're doing. If you haven't noticed by now, one of us is significantly more experienced with the game than the others, and you're going to notice that throughout this series too. If you think of it like a staircase, and G-Man's shooting me for some god-awful reason. If you think of it like a staircase, Jasmine's at the very top, G-Man's in the middle, and I'm over here at the bottom.
Dominance.
So he's showing his male dominance. So what essentially is the point of Factorio, right? What is it that what are we trying to do? Well, the object of the game, of course, is to automate and to design machines that automate processes that allow you to research new technologies, build new machines, and ultimately, as an end game, send rockets. And, that's sort of how that whole thing goes about. We got some basic resources here. There's some coal over here on this side. We've got some stone here on the ground here. There's some copper up here. And then there's wood all on these trees. And so you can chop down trees and get wood. There's also iron right here. And there's another ingredient over here, uranium, which I haven't seen before, but I assume that's just because I have very little time in Factorio myself. One of the reasons why we're doing this collaborative thing like this is because it takes forever to learn this game really well. And since there's already a couple of people here who are fairly decent at it, or at least one, we'll go ahead and let them show you the game.
Jazz is just really good at it.
Yeah. How this whole thing works is basically each player sees about what I see. You can place certain items. So, for instance, I have a stone furnace and a mining drill and stuff down here. My interface might look slightly smaller than their interfaces. So this video might be cutting back and forth between what G-Man's perspective and my perspective to give you sort of the best overall view of the game. So we have a stone furnace here, and I could lay that down just by clicking on it and just kind of sitting it down wherever I want. And then there's also a burner mining drill, and these are just basically drills. Now there's either the arrow on the drill that governs sort of which direction the resources will pop out of that, and I can rotate it, of course, with my keyboard if I want to. There's a whole bunch of different things you can build in Factorio. By clicking E, I get to see my current inventory, and then there's various different crafting menus, and you'll be seeing a lot of these as the game goes on. So these two right now, it's dark outside, you can see our lights are on, but these two right now are each working on a certain, area of production. What are you working on, G-Man?
So Jazz also did the same thing, but we're currently just making it so that we're getting some iron, because iron is one of the the resources used the most of. So this is the kind of basic thing you set up when you first start in. Is you find a place where you have a deposit of coal and iron right next to each other, and then you put a drill right on so that it touches both. Now, the optimal setup you want is one coal deposit and then 3 iron deposits, which Jazz has over here. But I couldn't find one of those, so I did one that has 2 iron deposits and 2 coal deposits. And then you want to put your burner mining drill and your furnace right next to each other. You want to mine 2 or 3 pieces of coal to put inside the inside the burner mining drill, so that it mines either iron or coal, which will then power the furnace. And then you can pull coal out of the furnace to put in the mining drill, so that way it keeps on mining.
There you go. Now I'm gonna follow Jazz over here, and this is so that you guys can sort of get a, we can edit this together, and you can see both of them at the same time whenever they're doing something. But Jazz, what exactly are you working on right now? Very much the same thing, or you got your own thing going on?
So I kind of took a wander to survey the surroundings because it's useful to sort of know where we may expand to next. But now I'm kind of collecting. Now I'm collecting stone in preparation while my drill's back down south, making metal. I'm collecting stone here so I can set up the boilers and stuff for electric production.
Okay, electric production. Now, speaking of electric production, this is the latest version of Factorio as of, well, a day before it uploads, or 2 days before it uploads, however we get to it. It's version, what version is it?
0.15.31.
There you go. I'm trying to find Jazz's little base she said was down south.
No, I surveyed the area.
Okay, so I'm just a wandering fool then. Got it.
Yep, you're our cameraman.
Now there is, speaking of going to electric and all that stuff, electric used to be something that you had to research. And now in this version of the game, they sort of give you the opportunity to just simply have it. If I go to, if I hit T on my keyboard, I can see a tech tree. And there's lots of different research that you'll have to accomplish and you'll have to work towards, I guess, throughout the game when playing with Factorio, so that you can unlock new technologies and all that stuff. So essentially, the task of the game is to automate as much as possible and be efficient with your machinery to research new technologies and build yourself up to the more advanced stuff. Now, you guys have come up with, I mean, I'm a noob at this, so I don't know how ambitious this really is, but you guys have come up with what I think is a pretty ambitious goal, and your end game for this is to launch more rockets into space than hours you have played. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah, than hours we've played in basically the campaign here. So as long as we put out, or the amount of hours it totals up to, we're going to put out more rockets than that. So the longer we take, the more we've got to work towards.
That seems pretty ambitious to me. And if you think about it, right, they have to work all these machines and they have to get all this research done, and then depending on however long it took them, they have to launch rockets that are equivalent to that amount of hours, but every hour that ticks by means an extra rocket needs to be done. So eventually they're going to have to be launching more than one rocket per hour eventually, because they're going to have to catch up to the time they've already played. Now, what you can see on my screen here, Jazz has something called a blueprint, and she's put together this blueprint from a previous playthrough, I assume. That's the only other way she could get it. And essentially, this is sort of an organization that she's had before for steam power. And she can lay this blueprint down on the ground, and she can then build things to the specs of the blueprint. So she doesn't have to worry about positioning things properly for the most efficiency. She's already tested this design, and she's going to say, this is where I want it to be. And so that's what she's doing here. You can see the conveyor belt that I'm standing on right here. And this is mostly, like for the first episode, this is mostly just for, like showing new players how to play. Anyone who's a veteran of Factorio already knows this basic stuff. But this conveyor belt, of course, is useful for moving resources from one position to another. And these little, if I stop moving, I can mouse over top of it. This is an inserter. And these inserters, which are not there yet, they're just part of the blueprint, but these inserters are going to take stuff off of the conveyor belt and move them into the machines that they're next to. And so that's how you automate things. You send resources down the conveyor belt so that other machines can use those resources to produce other things, and then it's a nice little cycle. It's a lot of logistics, and that's why it takes a long time to actually learn this stuff, at least in my point of view. So how much progress you got going on, G-Man?
So I have a burner mining drill set up to mine some copper so that Jazz can work with electrics. And I have Jazz set up another one of these iron producing mining drills. And very, very soon I'm building towards having enough conveyor belts and inserters so that I can have the mining drills that are mining coal and the mining drills that are mining iron separate and have this process a lot more automated. I'm currently just waiting for iron to build up so I can do that, and then I'll be able to have it all running without my interference.
Okay, so I'm gonna help G-Man here, and he's gonna kind of tell me what he wants me to do. So I'm gonna have to start by making a pickaxe because I'm gonna need to be able to get resources. So I can hit E on my keyboard, and I've got 8 iron plates in my inventory to start out with. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tap this twice so I have 2 pickaxes. It's gonna produce that automatically, and I'll just equip it. So what resources and stuff do you want me to get, or what do you want me to build right now?
Okay, so we're gonna work towards having iron production automated. And the way we do this at the very beginning is we have 1 or 2 burner mining drills on the coal deposit, and then we have several on this iron deposit over here. So you don't have to mine coal because that will take you literally forever. But we want to have the machines do it for us. So as soon as we get enough iron, what we're going to do is we're going to have it so that it's automated. So we need conveyor belts and inserters to make this happen. So we're just waiting for iron. And as soon as we get enough iron to do this, we're going to tear down all of these machines. We're going to set them up again in a way that makes them slightly more efficient and expandable.
So now we're being slowed down mainly by iron. Fun times.
Yes, so as just said, we are being slowed down by iron. So this setup is great for the beginning of the game, but really not going to do us for where we're trying to go. So we're going to dismantle it all and make a more efficient setup. Okay, so for this setup to work well, we're going to need kind of 3 things set up. Something producing coal, something producing iron ore, and then something melting the iron ore into iron plates. So, Charlie, do you want to get me coal? And I think we're going to set up the melty thingy over here. I think.
How much coal do you want me to get you?
So when I say get me coal, I don't mean mine coal. I mean make something that will give us coal. Okay?
Oh, right, of course, because we're automating.
Yes.
So I will need to make a burner mining drill, and I don't have the resources to do that because there is no iron in my inventory. There's all just copper there. So I actually need iron in order to do that.
Check your inventory.
Hey, what do you know? I have iron now. It just magically appears. Okay,
Yeah.
So you want a burner mining drill then? Maybe 2 or?
Yeah, sure. We'll say 2.
Okay, two drills coming up. Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't recommend like taking all the iron production before you set up a new one. Just saying, because
Yeah.
now we're stuck with no iron.
We are stuck, but
For
we're,
as long as-
So,
we're tearing out the old to make the new.
where do you want me to set up these drills at? For
Okay,
your
so
efficient
somewhere on
setup?
the coal deposit, and
Yeah,
I
just
think I'm gonna
anywhere.
temporarily say we're gonna have furnaces here.
Okay. Should I have it coming out to the left?
Yes, it should go here.
Okay, how about I just go like? Guess I'll just set the drills up anywhere. So how about like that and like that? I guess. Is
Okay.
that fine?
Now, I'm going to show you how to automate drills. So I would put them in a straight line, so it makes conveyor belts easier.
Sure.
So
Okay.
now what we're going to do is we're going to have a conveyor belt, not that way because we want to go down, 1 space from these drills. And we're going to have a conveyor belt from each one heading towards the main conveyor belt, and then we put one of these kind of there, so that way it grabs coal and fuels it. Now because this one is on the end, so like it won't actually get coal because there's no conveyor belt for it to grab it from, we get to do something a little funny. By that I mean Jasmine.
Hang on. Why don't we just move
Well-
the drill?
That
If
is
I move
probably
the
a better
drill,
idea.
If I move the drill
The thingy
and
where
I
the thingy doesn't
and I stick the
do
drill
the thingy.
like maybe like this instead,
Yes.
does that
that's-
solve the problem?
Yes, that's a great idea. There we go. Charlie's learning.
Yes.
G-Man just called Jasmine.
So
Charlie
now the
figured it out.
coal will come out of the burner
Perfect.
drill, or it's going to come out of the miner. It's going to come down this conveyor belt. This little guy here is going to pick up the coal and stick it back into the burner, and that's going to allow the drill to keep fueling itself. And same thing with this right here. Any excess coal that comes down this conveyor belt, which you can see it coming down with my light on it, any excess coal, once this thing is full, it's going to stop grabbing it. So the excess will then keep going, and now this one can power it. So coal will continuously burn on these drills, and they will continuously keep mining. Any excess goes down the conveyor belt and gets repurposed for, well, what he's building now.
So this is going to be where we're going to have an array sort of furnaces, which are going to be melting the iron ore into iron plates with the help of coal. So Charlie, you built some more furnaces earlier, right?
I did, yes. I have 3 more.
Do you want to chuck them in this array as well?
Uh-huh. I guess I can... Should I go down or should I go up?
Up.
Should I stand? Should I put it where I'm standing or should I put it where I'm standing?
Well, can you fit it?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, go up.
Go up. Okay. Like that. Yep, that's all my furnaces. Do you need some more burner inserters?
I will likely. Yes.
I'm gonna make 4 more. Okay, I got 4, and I'll just set them basically how they're set up, how you've got them set up. I'm not sure why it's. Oh, hang on. I don't know why it did that. I'm supposed to. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so I'll stick this like that, and you can see how I'm placing it, which I probably placed it incorrectly. So when you're placing these things, the arrow is the direction the resources are going to end up going towards. So the claw here, the burner inserter, is going to grab it from the flat line and send it towards the arrow. So I want the burner inserter to grab resources and put it into the drill. So when I put these in here like this, I'm going to set them kind of like that. And then we'll need another conveyor belt, I think, for that top one, maybe. I think you do. These top 2 burners aren't going to get anything. The furnaces, I mean,
yes.
I don't have any belts. I didn't make any belts.
I don't have any belts either. Which
Need
is
more
why I
iron.
started
Right,
some
now
of the
you see the
melting,
problem because you picked up
Yep.
the iron production before making the rest.
which is exactly why I have burner mining drills running.
We will mine iron manually. And then I will just stick it into this burner and we will get ourselves some more iron.
I have the thingy that's mining the iron ore. I just don't have them connected yet.
So I'm going to grab these plates of the iron that I just mined into this stone furnace. That's going to generate the plates that I need. And once I get these 4, I can add an extra conveyor belt to this top piece here. And then I should be good to go. So we're going to craft one of these transport belts. And then once the transport belt is crafted, I can then take it and add it to this. And right like that. And now the resources will come all the way up to the top of the belt. These little burner inserters can grab it, and away they go. Now the way G-Man and Jasmine are setting things up, they do things like they know it, I don't know it, but like every time I tried to do this like myself when I was playing alone, just trying to figure it out for myself, I never was able to really get the resources to split on the belt like this. But I mean, they do it by having one conveyor belt go towards the belt from this direction and one having it go in this direction, and they just happen to always stay on the same side they're coming from. But it's just something that like experienced people do that as a beginner, you just never like think about that kind of thing. But it makes it way more efficient. So let's take a look at Jazz. What is she up to? She's waiting for iron, of course, because that's the big bottleneck right now. But she's got a whole bunch of coal coming in on a huge conveyor belt all the way over here, because the coal is located over here. And it's going to come all the way down this way. And I think once the coal reaches, if I'm not mistaken, once the coal reaches the end here, oh, okay, guess not. So how does this offshore pump work? What powers it?
Nothing.
Nothing
Physics.
powers it.
I love how you
Physics
try to
powers it.
understand the coal and then give up.
I
and
was
go
trying
for
to.
the
I know. I was
offshore
trying to
pump.
understand the coal. I figured the coal was on its way, and as soon as it got into range of these inserters, then the boilers would start, which makes sense to me. But the inserters weren't actually there when I was there. No, she just put them in. So
I had no reason to put them down because they weren't able to, because the middle of the belt wasn't even there. So there's no point me using inserters till then.
yeah.
So I jerry-rigged this a teensy bit more than I could have. So basically, because these burner inserters need coal, I have coal coming in behind them, and then they put out the iron in front of them. Now, last time I did this with Jazz, she set up the conveyor belt so that it was all in one conveyor belt. I didn't do that, because I didn't think that far ahead, but it works. So I'm going to stick with this.
See? There you go.
It's very hard to set this up so that we can have burner inserters pulling resources out of furnaces, because we won't have coal on the line that they pull out to, which is why I'm going to use electric ones. Now, I have never dealt with water like this before, Jasmine. Is there any way we can fill this in?
Eventually, yeah. There's this
Probably
nice
not.
little tech called landfill, which we can't get yet. It requires green anyway.
Okay. In that case,
Demolished. This burner mining drill down here is no longer working on
yep.
anything.
So there'll be coal. Okay, I think it is. I have no. Oh, right. Furnace is full of coal. So I just took half of it out. Should make it start again.
Furnace is too full. It stops producing when it has too many things in it.
It was too full of coal.
I'm not sure how to build it because I don't have the resources for it. But you want an electric mining drill which takes 23 iron per and 4.5 copper per. Well, as far as copper is concerned, I have a whole bunch of copper right here in this little thing. So there we go. I'll just take the copper out of there. And then the iron plates. How can I get some of those?
So I have this thingy up here, which will put iron in this chest. And that means you can reach it if you're on very far away with the long reach mod, which is very handy.
Or I can just stand here on the belt and take the iron plates as they come to me. Okay, so now I have 55 iron plates and 31 copper plates. So that's enough to make 2 electric mining drills. You can see that with the button. There's a little 2 next to it. We can make 2 electric ones. Now, with the electric ones, we don't need coal to power them because
and they're also a bit faster, which is useful.
So they work better. They're more efficient. And Jazz has been setting up her blueprint here with the steam engines and everything. And there's these power lines that are running down. And these power lines are now powering these electric inserters. So we don't need coal in these inserters anymore either, and we're kind of upgrading our gear, if you will.
Yes.
So I can take some of these. Now the electric burner drills, or these burner drills, if I get rid of these, are the electric ones the same size? Or they have the same footprint, or are they bigger?
No, they have a 3x3 footprint, whereas the burner mining drills have a 2x2 footprint.
Okay,
And
so
they also pull ore from a 5x5 footprint.
Okay, so should I put them on the other side of the belt then, over here? Or do you want to redo this belt system so that these belts are out of the way?
I want to redo this belt system. Now, before we do that, there is not enough space up here for all of these furnaces. So I think we should move them somewhere else. Now,
Okay.
Because the water is right here, and there's a forest right beneath us, there isn't really a lot of place to move them. So I think we're gonna move all the burning to out here, where we have lots of space. So we're gonna have to do belts for that. Now first, we're gonna have to kind of clear some of the trees from this area to give us space to do that.
Okay. And that little sound you guys just heard, that is research. We just researched something.
Yes.
What was it that we got?
I believe logistics.
Logistics. Sounds useful in this game.
It means we now have fast inserters, splitters, and underground belts, which are extremely handy.
I'm running around. We now have radars, but I've specifically placed them in a way so that all the base is covered by the visibility now.
Perfect. We probably won't be able to see where the nearest enemy base is on those radars, right?
Oh, we will. The starting area, they should be quite close. But if you like hit M to open up the map, you can see the little tendrils of where they are and how far out they're actually providing coverage, because they provide an area, then they keep searching.
Gotcha.
But then they have a radius to their searching.
Okay, so I think we should tear all of this out and move it over here. So so Charlie, you know how I set up the burners, right?
Well, you set them up like, yeah. I got this. Yeah,
So we're going to be replacing all of these burner inserters with these electric inserters, and
okay.
very soon after that, we're going to do fast inserters, but we're going to need more iron first. So do you want to tear out all of these burners and inserters and conveyor belts, and we're going to move them to the left. I can just bet that Jazz is wincing from how inefficient this is. But
No, I'm just keeping one active so they can actually have iron.
okay.
This is mine. I'm protecting it.
do not take away the one furnace that works.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so there are many like it, but this one is mine, she says on the furnace.
All right, so I think we're going to set it up here. Now, there I had it set up vertically, right? We want to set this one up horizontally because that'll give us more space to build. So do you think you can do that? I will set up these electric mining drills.
Okay, so we're still working on we're still working with stone furnaces then. So I could go like
So there is a line. You want to put them right next to each other. So you're giving them a space gap. You want to put them right next to each other because it conserves space and makes wiring
Someone's
it easier.
taken off my drill.
Sorry.
Electric inserters will then put resources into these furnaces like so. But I didn't put them. I think I should move this so they're closer to the. I'm gonna move these so they're closer to the existing power lines, so we don't have to put any more additional power in.
You're gonna have to put additional power in anyway to power each and every inserter. So you notice how each one of those power lines has a blue area around it. So that is the area of which devices it will power. So you're gonna actually have to put in a new power post for every single set.
Okay, fine.
And here are some power poles to do that.
Fine then. All right, and the tracks will just go like this. Okay.
Now, do you want to build a couple more? Oops.
Couple more. What?
A couple more furnaces to make this process faster.
Okay, 3 more furnaces coming up. And we'll just put those
Oops.
like
Right.
this. Make sure that's actually spaced properly. I don't have another electric inserter. So I'm going to have to build one of those. I can build 2 more. So there's 2. And then we'll stick this there and there. And then electric power poles, we can put those in. Looks like this right here would be the most efficient place for this pole. And that way we could power all of them with just 2 poles. So now these inserters are electric powered and they're going to put all the resources into the burners, but we don't have coal going to these burners.
Which is what I am grabbing right now over here.
Yeah. I'm just going to get them started by putting some coal in there to start out.
Yes, that is a very good idea because I don't have any more thingies.
I may have swiped a lot of the coal off the conveyor belt before. I may have taken most of it. So there you go. So now they're actually going to work a little bit. This one is already got it in there good. So now we just need the inserters. So he's laying out a blueprint of what he wants. Not really a blueprint, just plans. Yeah, Jazz is laying out the plans of what she wants. And I'm just basically filling in the pieces because after I make an inserter, I already have sort of a template of where she wants me to put it. So there we go. So G-Man has just set up essentially this 4-way system where a whole bunch of these things can just keep putting it in there. So I assume you want the belt to do this.
Yes.
And then you want the belt to, well, you could take it from there, I guess. You got it. Yeah, like that. So the iron will just keep going around and around until one of these claws grabs it and puts it in this chest. And now we'll never have to worry about iron plates again, right?
That is the hope.
Yeah.
Well, by that we mean until we start using iron in a factory. Because then we'll need a lot more.
Okay, so I got iron plates coming in from the other side now. Let me get more inserters. I need copper plates for that. Ooh, you're running. Go get some more copper. The copper has been being produced over here, and this burner has been handling that. So we got 31. I'll just grab these. And now using that, I can make a whole bunch more of these inserters, which is what we need.
No.
Copper
so, Charlie,
really is one of the least used things.
There are the orange inserters and there are the blue inserters.
Yeah.
We want the blue ones.
You want the blue ones? Okay,
Yeah.
well, I just made a whole bunch of yellow ones.
Well, yeah, the yellow ones are in the recipe for blue ones, so that's okay.
Oh, great.
Now, as soon as you only want to do about half, so you replace half of them, right? And then you get half as many more yellow inserters to make more blue ones.
Okay. Well, I got the blue ones, so I'll install the blue ones up here, I guess, because you might as well.
You want to replace the yellow ones you already have first before you install new ones.
Right, because you're going to use the yellow ones to make the blue
Yep.
ones? Which is probably what you just said, and I totally ignored it. Because that's what I do. I just ignore people.
Yep. Just like chat.
Just like chat. Aww.
G-Men's now at the level of
Look how much
chat.
faster this thing is. Damn. That's really booking it. Okay, so we have lots of iron plates coming in now. Oh yeah. So inside this chest we've got, like, look at it climb. Very nice. I'll just put those in there because why not?
Is nice.
I'm gonna take it out. Now we need copper to go in there. We only have one source of copper, and it's this furnace all the way over here.
We only have one source of copper. What do you take me for?
You probably have.
Some people don't pay attention.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention. So a whole bunch of copper coming up this way. Got it. I'm assuming you're going to want more furnaces. I'm assuming.
Yep, I'm making some of them. We have a thing
You
that
don't need to
makes
mine.
stone, Charlie.
Don't
G-Man did
yell at
is-
me like I'm a noob.
What
No, I am.
G-Man did is he made stone bricks because
Yeah.
he doesn't understand how it works.
No, I made stone bricks because we're going to need them later. And you set up something that makes stone up here. A lot more stone than this would make.
But yes, we're already on top of automation, Jar.
Cool.
You jump to as fast as you can. Hence one of the techs being automation.
As a recap, because the episode is nearing its close, what we've done so far is we've set up iron production with electronic mining drills and then a load of inserters and furnaces, and they're all being put into this chest here. We have energy set up by Jasmine, which is boilers and steam engines here, which are being powered by this water pump, this coal. And then we're working towards having some small copper production set up here. And that is it for this first episode. Charlie will take the exit drawer from here.
I just want to say, guys, thanks so much for watching. And if you guys like this video, it helps out a lot. It gives us great feedback on how we can do things better and how great we're doing things. They're shooting me in the head. That's fantastic. Like this video if you like it. Give us a comment down below. Let us know. They're going to kill me off. And that's pretty appropriate, I guess, because, yeah, from this point on, this series is going to be taken over by G-Man and Jasmine. So if you guys like this idea, please be sure to tune in. We're going to be releasing episodes pretty regularly. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, I guess. Bye.